Good evening. I'm George Finstad. Remember last week's hi-fi recall? Did Zonix tell us the whole story? More answers tonight to this and other questions. Are all baby soothers safe? Are sea monkeys for real? What drinks to serve to the kids on those thirsty summer days ahead? And what are we doing to equip our children to take their place in the marketplace? If your kids are like mine, they read the funnies, and they spot the darndest things, like this ad for sea monkeys. Now, I give in to a lot of my kids' requests, and I've got a house full of pets to prove it, but I put my foot down on this one. However, they worked on a friend of ours, and she sent away for those sea monkey things for the kids. In fact, she ordered a school for herself, too.
And here's what she got in the mail. Sea monkeys. Just add water. Create instant life. Well, she hatched this in a bottle and got a couple of dozen of brine shrimp.
The world's first instant pets. You'll gasp with amazement when in mere seconds you see sea monkeys born alive.
Well, we didn't exactly gasp with amazement, Joan. When they're hatched, they're about the size of a period at the end of a sentence. And very white and not particularly nice to look at. So that wasn't much more of an experience than cultivating mold on a cheese. Nowhere on that package do you find that what's in there is not sufficient for the whole natural life of the sea monkeys. You think your $2.98 purchase is it. Well, in the catalog, you can go up to $32.10 worth of merchandise to keep these little brine shrimp or sea monkeys alive. Some of them do marry, I understand, because in reading through the catalog here that comes along in the blister pack, some of the exotic things you can order for your sea monkey, for instance, is Cupid's arrow mating powder. It says, when sea monkeys refuse to marry, this fabulous formula quickly puts them in the mood for love. It harmlessly stimulates mating and breeding, gets them to produce more of those adorable pets.
How much does it cost to put them in the mood for love?
It costs $1 to put them in the mood for love, Joan. That's roughly what you might get for a glass of scotch. We had one death.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear.
Yes, I don't know really what caused that.
But here it says limited group sea monkey life insurance policy. Didn't you take that out?
No, we didn't take out. The problem was, it says there you have to name all of these things. I can't tell them apart, and there's, I guess, at least 2 dozen in there. I wasn't about to name any of them. You have to name them all in that insurance policy and send it in.
It says,
otherwise, it's not valid.
Yes, and the names have to be socially acceptable. Stinky, slimy, sneaky are not acceptable.
Well, the only names I could think of I don't think would be socially acceptable.
Chris, I think part of the incredible blurb that's on the back has to do with the man who presumably found these darn things, Dr. George Flam.
It might well be, not knowing Dr. Flam, that his first name should be Flim.
Flim. Chris, I noticed that you had this particular creature sitting on your shelf. Did you expect to get something like that?
No, we didn't really think we were going to get anything quite like that, Joan, but I think it would be reasonable to assume that we were going to get something that was a reasonable facsimile of what was advertised on the package, and we didn't. And as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty treacherous business. I think that if you can't trust the picture on the outside of the package to bear a vague resemblance to what's inside, that's not very good. Something should be done about that.
So as a consumer, don't be a monkey.
No, don't be a monkey.
Rather than paying $2.98, you can buy a dime's worth of fish food made up of brine shrimp eggs, add water, and you can get 1.5 billion sea monkeys. A viewer from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, also referred us to the sea monkey ads. He points out that we've even run commercials for them on our CBC Halifax station. The writer, David Saunders, said nobody else would touch the subject, so he wrote to us at Marketplace. He suggests that the onus to correct any untruths does not lie with the parent in such cases, but with, firstly, the supplier, and secondly, with the media. Well, how about a counter-advertising campaign like the anti-commercial produced by the Ontario Educational Network, calling Captain Consumer?